Are you a woman between the ages of 35 and 50 and struggling with weight gain? Well, that's what I'm talking about in the final video in my series on perimenopause and weight gain. And today we're talking about adiponectin. So stay tuned to learn more about perimenopause and weight gain and how adiponectin can play a role. If you're between the ages of 35 and 50 and struggling with hormone imbalance, then hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video every Friday. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm Dr. Shelley Meyer. I'm a registered dietitian. I'm a functional medicine physician, and I'm a board certified family physician. And I help women who are struggling with the roller coaster of hormones that happens between the ages of 35 and 50 with something called perimenopause. And I help women go from that roller coaster to thriving and to feeling balanced and to feeling like themselves again. And I've helped thousands of women do this through functional medicine, which is root cause medicine. So what we've been focusing on in the last 3 videos is what we have been focusing on are the hormones that can contribute to some of the weight gain that we might see in perimenopause. And a lot of women see an average of 5 to 10 pounds of weight gain in the years leading up to menopause. And that could be anywhere from 2 to 10 plus years. So revisit some of the other videos if you haven't, if you're not familiar with this and you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, and follow them. Video 1, 2, and 3, and this is the 4th video, so you can learn more about the other hormones as well. Today we're focusing on adiponectin. And what adiponectin does is help us regulate our fats and our sugars and how our body uses those. And so it helps us with blood sugar control, helps us with avoiding weight gain, helps us reduce inflammation as well. So how can we make sure our adiponectin is optimized? As we learned in the first video in this series, that adiponectin is not optimized in perimenopause. And so we have abnormal levels of adiponectin, and we want to balance this hormone along with our other hormones so that we can not be on that roller coaster, particularly in the weight gain department, as well as all the other symptoms. But we're focusing in this series on weight gain so that we can keep that weight gain from happening and keep our metabolism optimized. So now that we know how important adiponectin is in helping us balance our fat and our weight gain and our blood sugar control and our inflammation as well, let's learn how we can help our bodies get good levels of adiponectin and how we can increase our adiponectin. So one way, like we talked about with some of the other hormones, is through healthy fats. One of those being omega-3s. So we talk about omega-3s in relation to inflammation a lot. So if we take in more omega-3s, we lower inflammation. And one of the ways that might be is through it helping adiponectin. So omega-3, which comes from fatty fish, salmon in particular, is one good source of omega-3. A lot of us are taking omega-3 supplements, and I have talked a lot in the past about choosing a good omega-3 supplement. So you want to choose one that's high in EPA and DHA, and one that's been filtered, one that does not have mercury in there, one from a sustainable source. So those are all good things to look for. But we do want to make sure we're getting adequate omega-3. So we can get it through our food, also through walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds. Those can convert into omega-3 or into the EPA and DHA. And we want to make sure we're getting about 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams of EPA and DHA, sometimes even more, but you have to discuss that with your provider to make sure that's good for you. But that's the inflammatory dose. We also want to make sure we're eating enough fiber. I talk about fiber so often on this channel, and I can't say it enough. So fiber in and of itself boosted in studies adiponectin levels by 60% or more. So that 30 to 35 grams healthy, soluble, and insoluble fiber that I've talked about is very important. So tracking your fiber in an app like MyFitnessPal or Carb Manager, or one of the many apps that I've talked about, Chronometer is a great one, is a good way to keep track, because a lot of us are really getting maybe 50% or less of that fiber goal if we're following a standard American diet. So upping that fiber helps the adiponectin levels. Exercise. So obviously we want to exercise to lose weight and to keep our weight balanced, correct? Yes, but exercising is vital to our adiponectin levels, and we want to make sure that we exercise 3 to 5 days a week, preferably more like 4 to 5 days a week, because that regularity of the exercise helps boost the adiponectin levels. And caffeine, that's a big question here on to caffeine or to not caffeine on this channel. I do talk about not having too much caffeine because I don't want your cortisol levels to go too high, but caffeine can help adiponectin levels. So the nice compromise between those two is choosing something like green tea. The ingredients and the antioxidants and everything that are in green tea can help provide that little bit of caffeine, but then also the antioxidant boost that can help your adiponectin levels. So green tea would be a great option. There's something in it called EGCG that has a lot of health benefits, has a lot of hormone balancing benefits, and we use that a lot for the female hormones and balancing those. So green tea is something to check out instead of coffee. Because another thing that I've talked about with the leptin and with the ghrelin levels is getting adequate sleep. So if we're having too much coffee, we're not only disrupting our cortisol, which then disrupts our progesterone and our estrogen, we're also taking away from our sleep a lot of times. So don't go heavy on the coffee because you think it's going to make you lose weight. Instead, choose something like green tea. Cold. There is some evidence that sleeping in a cold environment can help your adiponectin levels. So the studies found that it was 66 degrees Fahrenheit or 19 degrees Celsius, for those of you that use Celsius, can be helpful for boosting that adiponectin. So considering that might run your energy bills up, but maybe not running your heat as high in the winter can help with your adiponectin levels. Now, do supplements help? Questionable, maybe, but curcumin, which I've talked about numerous times on this channel, turmeric curcumin, it's from the spice, can help. So turmeric, the spice, but the curcumin component of it, that can definitely help lower inflammation, and we definitely want inflammation to be lower. When that inflammation's lower, check back on the last video, that helps our leptin resistance, also helps this adiponectin level. Curcumin is a great option. I have some links down below to some doctor approved, some ones that I use personally with my patients. It's important to get a good quality curcumin or turmeric supplement. Don't just use any old one off the shelf. Same thing with fish oil. So I will link down below some of the ones that I approve of and think are great options. So curcumin is one of the tried and true that can really help with your adiponectin levels. So that's it in a nutshell. Not really a nutshell kind of situation with our hormones here, but these are some of the things the things I've talked about in this series that can help to avoid that average 7.5 pound weight gain that we have in perimenopause. So drop me your comments down below. Let me know what you've struggled with in perimenopause and what may have helped you, what questions you might have held. We all need to be in this together and to learn from each other. So join me next week for another topic on perimenopause. I'm Dr. Shelley Meyer. I post videos every Friday. Like, share, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and hit the bell to be notified when so you can be notified when I post new videos every Friday. Thank you so much for joining me again, and we'll see you next time.